Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. I know it's been a minute. I know I've had a couple months off, but I am back and ready to record really exciting and cute videos for you. And I thought, what better video to come back on than everybody's favorite end of the year favorite beauty products. You've seen it from 1,000 different people, you've seen it for 1,000 years before, but this one is different because it is my video. So if you like favorites and if you endured the year 2019 and want to hear about my 2019 beauty favorites, then please keep on watching. Alright, so I'm gonna kind of sort of go in order of my makeup routine here. And the first product I want to talk about, I like to use as a primer, but it's not necessarily marketed as a primer. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for a Superstar Youth Glow. Oh my gosh, that's a long name. When the logo's already rubbed off. One complaint with this product, every time you open the bottle, more of the logo will come off, and I sometimes end up with letters on my face, like part of the way through the day. Well, I'll be like, is that a letter P? Oh, yep, that must be from the Superstar. But yeah, other than that, this product is so beautiful. I've been eyeing it for so long and just couldn't commit to buying it because it is $40, which is stupid. It shouldn't be $40. But I have a feeling this is gonna last me forever because I've been using it pretty much every day for over 3 months now, and I'm like, it hasn't moved at all. I mentioned using this as my primer step because I like to put it both on top of and underneath foundation. So I go in, I hit all the high points of my face. Let's be honest, I really just hit everywhere on my face, and then I go in with foundation over it, and I just feel like the glow from within is so real. Like, this is glow from within in a bottle. And I love that the shades, like, it comes in skin tone shades. Like, I don't know why we never thought of this before. We always think of highlight as like champagne or pink or peach or bronze, and I never just think like, why not just have it be your skin tone? And it goes on, it looks like skin, you blend it out, and it just gives such a beautiful pearlescent finish. I don't know if this is doing anything for you, but it's also on my face, but it just makes your skin look pearlized. It's not shimmery, it's not glittery at all. It truly is just like radiant. You radiate pearl energy, big pearl energy 2019. That's what this product does for me. All right, the next product I want to talk about is also complexion. It's my favorite foundation. It is the Revlon Photo Ready Candid Natural Finish Anti-Pollution Foundation. And this was recommended by Miss Katie Jane Hughes. I believe this was released in late 2018, but I tried it in January, used it for a couple of months, and then I felt like my skin was starting to look cakey with this on, so I took a break. But I came back to it about a month ago, and I was like, oh, it wasn't the product looking cakey, I was applying it poorly. I like to use my fingers. If I can apply something with my fingers, I'll apply it with my fingers. But I have recently jumped on the sponge train and I have never looked back. And this applied with the sponge is just gorgeous, especially over Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for Superstar Youth Glow. They are such a beautiful match together. This is definitely a medium coverage, I would say. It is buildable. I like to go in with a pump first and then take maybe like half a pump and build up on the areas I want a little more coverage. But you can still see some of my freckles through here. It's not full coverage by any means, but this wears really well throughout the day. It never breaks up in any areas on my face, and it never looks cakey. It's a natural finish, but it feels really lightweight. I hate to feel like there's something on my face. I just want to scratch it off and rub it in, but this does not feel like that. It looks beautiful, wears beautifully, great foundation. All right, so this year I have been all about the cream products. My skin is dry, and when I say dry, I mean like literally flakes off. Like at the end of the day, I have little flakes of skin coming off of my chin. I am a very dry lady. So all about the cream products this year, and one that I really loved is the Colourpop blush sticks, specifically in the shade Aloha. This blush, there were mixed reviews about these blush sticks when they came out. I watched Kathleen Light's whole video, and she had some mixed reviews on some of these, particularly the shimmery ones. I wasn't super excited to try. I don't know, I just felt like there was nothing outrageous about them. But she put on the color Aloha, and I was was a really beautiful color. So I went out and got it at Ulta actually, and this shade is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's beautiful. It's such a pretty like nudie blush. I wouldn't say it's overly warm or overly cool. Like it's very neutral. I don't know. I feel like it goes with every look. I love how it blends out onto the skin. You can go in with so much of this and it'll just blend out into nothing, which I like because I like to build up a blush. I have been known to overdo blush many times, recently even, but this one I feel like is impossible to overdo because it just blends out so beautifully and it looks so natural, gives you a nice flush, looks like you were just outside building a snowman and you've come inside to get a cup of hot cocoa and your cheeks are all pink and it's a good time. It's a good time for all. This is a beautiful blush. Another cream product I have been loving is the Matte Bronzer by Milk Makeup. This is another one that is going to last me years and years and years. I can just tell. It was $40, which I didn't want to spend, but there's so much product in here, I feel like it will probably expire before it runs out. So that's a good bang for your buck. I really like about this is the tone of this bronzer. Bronzer has been a step of my makeup routine that I have been frenemies with. If I may use the word frenemies, I've been frenemies with bronzer because I can't get the tone right. I'll buy a bronzer and it'll be a great formula, like the Physicians Formula bronzer. Beautiful formula, super, super buttery and beautiful and satiny, but looks orange on my skin. And I just feel like every time I try a new bronzer, it ends up looking orange and it doesn't look like I've been kissed by the sun, which is what I want it to look like. But this Milk Bronzer, one is a cream product, so I just feel like it's easier to work with. It blends out better. I feel like it looks more subtle, more natural. But the tone of this is really, really nice. I'm gonna try to swatch it for you. See how it's like a chestnut, like mahogany. It blends out really nice. I know this is my hand, but like I'm barely touching it and it just like, it blends in. It's like moisturizer. And I like the way it looks on my skin. And bronzer and I are getting there. We're figuring each other out, and this one from Milk is definitely helping me. All right, another base product I want to talk about is my setting spray. And this one from Fourth Ray Beauty. If you don't know, that's Colourpop's like sister brand. I think it's owned by the same company, but it's their more skincare brand. And this is a mist. I use it as a setting spray, but it is just marketed as a facial mist, and this one has vitamin C in it, and it's their Glisten Up mist, so it's supposed to like brighten, and you can tell by looking at it, like it has little shimmery particles in here. Oh, and this is just so beautiful. I love it. I love the mister on it. It gives really big mist, see? Beautiful big mister, like that. Covers a lot of real estate on the face. Got some in my mouth there. But yeah, and it just gives your skin such a beautiful glow. I like to apply this as I'm doing my foundation. Okay, so let me tell you the routine here. Put on the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter underneath the foundation. Put the foundation on top. I spray it with this, and then I go in with my beauty sponge and press this spray into the skin, and I just feel like it gives me even more of a glow. You're not gonna see any big shimmery particles on my skin at all. There's no glitter in here. It truly is just like the Flawless Filter. It's very pearlescent, very radiant. The spray gives radiance to the skin, the glow, radiance from within. This is definitely my favorite setting spray of the year. All right, let's talk about eyes a little bit. This year, the standout eyeshadow product for me has to be the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals eyeshadow palette. I have bought quite a few palettes this year, many of which I have loved. The Kathleen Light So Jaded palette, beautiful. The Jackie Aina palette, beautiful. Love those two so much. They are so fun. But if I'm being honest of which one I actually think performs the best and that I use the most, it's the Tati Beauty one. I travel with this one. I use it when I'm at home. Even if I'm using another eyeshadow palette, I always end up still reaching for this. There's always something I need from here. This is such a staple palette to have. And aside from just having staple colors in it and all of the different finishes it has, it is just so easy to use. The shimmers are beautiful. The mattes are beautiful. The sequin shades are crazy. They are so cool. The glitters, I have never really been somebody who reaches for glitter very often, but I'm reaching for it a lot more now that I have this palette because the glitters just perform so well. They don't get everywhere. They're not too chunky. They all have such unique shifts to them. Like, there's such unique colors pressed into all of these glitters. It's a real stitch. You really ought to check this palette out if you can, because I think for $48, this quality is insane. Not that this is cheap by any means. I mean, $48, that's a lot of money to me, but the quality is like so worth the price. It's such a good value. Beautiful palette. I love her so much. Another eye product that I have discovered this year that I have been loving is from Suva Beauty, and it is their Hydra liner in the shade Grease. It is a black gel liner. I have never used a gel liner before until I used this one, and if you're not familiar, the way you use it is you dip like a super skinny brush like this in water, you get it nice and wet, and then you wet the product here, and then literally like you're painting. You just paint your eyeliner on. It doesn't skip, it doesn't get stuck in crevices in your skin, it doesn't dry out super fast. It is wonderful. Before I discovered this liner, I was really stuck on this e.l.f. Precision liquid liner, and I still like it, but the reason I was so obsessed with this one was because of the brush being like this. It just felt like it was the easiest to use. But the difference between this e.l.f. liquid liner and the cream gel liner is that this one does skip. You do have to work kind of quickly. It's harder to go back and fix mistakes with this one, whereas this one, you can really take your time. And every time you wet that brush, it's like starting over. It's like the product is just fresh and smooth and it glides on so nicely. I feel like my eyeliner always turns out great when I use this. All right, we are wrapping it up, and that means we are moving on to the lips. So this is another one, not new this year, but something that I have I don't even know if I got it this year, but I've been using it consistently all the time. It's the Colourpop Luxe Lipstick Cream Finish in the shade What's Your Sign. It's from Kathleen Light's Zodiac collection, and this shade is just my perfect nude. It's beautiful. It's a perfect like neutral, kind of leading cool tone. It's looking cool tone now because I use like more of a cool tone lip liner, but it's very, very neutral and it feels so nice on the lips. They do have this Luxe lipstick is available in a matte formula, a velvet formula, like they have a few different formulas, but the cream is definitely my favorite. And I recently got a Pat McGrath lipstick because she had this like crazy Cyber Monday sale, and I was like, oh my god, a Pat McGrath lipstick for $7, that's nuts. So I got one, naturally. Look at her, she is so beautiful, what beautiful packaging. But I was putting it on, and the whole time I felt so guilty because I was like, my Colourpop one is better. Like, it really is. This one is so much better. This one's, okay, sorry Pat, this is more of a matte finish, for sure. But this one is just better. It just glides on better. The shape of it is better. If you have really dry lips, like I do, if you have like dry, crusty lips, then you should check this out because it feels very hydrating, it feels very nice, and it fades very nicely too. That's a big thing for me with lipstick. I hate to have a lipstick that fades and you just get the white line and you get the butthole lip and it just looks terrible. But this one fades very glamorously, doesn't give me a butthole lip, and keeps my lips feeling fresh. All right, that's it for my 2019 beauty favorites. Those are all the things I've been loving this year. I tried to be really selective. I tried not to pick anything I was just okay with. You know, I have a couple products that I'm using in my routine right now that I'm okay with using, but they're not my favorites. So if you notice there was a few missing categories from this favorites list, it's because I was very selective. I was very picky. I wasn't just giving anybody a front row seat to this favorites gala that I am hosting. I appreciate you watching this video. I think that was really great. I hope that you will subscribe so you can watch other videos, because really subscribing can never hurt because you can always unsubscribe should you decide to later. I hope that if you like this particular video, you give it a thumbs up, and I love you. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.